Bill. Whatever it says, the old authority. Take all this time, or we vote on it.
Can you stand in, Sergeant Police Officer, Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance.
Is it working?
I pledge allegiance to the
United States of America, and for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all.
All right, lift it up again. If you don't see your name, come see Ed at the end of the meeting.
A-Beta, Louisiana, American veterans, Vaca, Bayou Country Riders,
Yo.
Bayou Demons,
Yo.
Bikers for Christ, Broken Chains, Brothers Keepers, Cajun Norsemen, Cajun Riders, Circuit Riders, Combat Vets, Confederates, Confederation of Leathernecks, Family Ties, Fire and Iron, First Five, Fragile Defenders, Gray Ghost,
Here.
Hellfighters, Hell on Wheels, Hole in the Wall, Hope Pushers,
Here.
Iron Cross Riders,
There.
La Famille, LA Riders, Los Solitarios, Loyal to One, Marines, Mechanized Cavalry,
Here.
Noble Sons,
Here.
Odin Sons, Allfield Ironmen, Rebel Riders, Reverend, Road Shakers,
Here.
Road Hard Riders,
Here.
Running Dogs, Savage Kings, Scarlet Crew, Soldiers of the Cross, Sons of Liberty,
Here.
Southern Comfort, Steel Horse Ministry, Temple Guard,
Here.
the Priesthood,
Here.
Dorado Skulls, Troubled Souls, U.S. military vets, Up and Nord, Veterans MC, Veterans Vietnam, Widow's Sons,
Here.
Wind and Fire,
Yeah.
and Servant Souls.
Here.
All right.
Missed anybody?
I know a few of y'all were here at the last meeting when we had in the church with Congressman Clay Higgins. Anybody y'all remember that guy in the back of the room that stood up and said that he was having a problem with northeast Louisiana on the highway with the federal gang task force pulling him over and all that?
Yeah.
Y'all know who he is?
No, but I remember.
If y'all remember or talk to someone, pass my phone number on to him, or y'all call me and let me know. We have a form to fill out, you know, with date, time, place, and stuff like that, so we can keep that on file. So if it ever goes to court, we have, you know, our attorney has some evidence on what's going on and stuff. As Clay had said too, that was federal. We do have an anti-profiling bill in Louisiana, but that federal oversees or trumps state stuff, so. But it's still good to have a record of what's going on right there and why they're doing it. Anybody in here's been pulled over, being profiled anytime in the last few months or so? If y'all do, get the time, the officer's name, get all the information, the location, the time, a day, and all that good stuff, write it down and send it to me. And so we can get it to our, you were kind of handling that at one time, Sarge? Or either me or Sarge or any of us up here that you can, get that information out to us so we can keep a record. Like I said, Louisiana was the third state in the nation to pass an anti-profiling bill, and there's some things we can do to stop this. If we know about it, we can stop it. One other thing, have you ever heard of the NCOC? It's a National Council of Clubs. They work on the national level, and they work from state to state. That's with Double D, David Devereaux. That was started right after the Waco situation in Texas in 2016, shortly thereafter that incident happened. And what he does, he goes around all across the nation. He has a few attorneys, and Double D, he's a pretty swift guy. He could be an attorney if he wanted to. He knows a lot. And he's helped out a lot of states pass anti-profiling bills and discriminations against motorcyclists across the United States. They asked me last year to get on the board, so I've been sitting on the board of directors for the NCOC for the last year and a half. I've been on the board, and we work with all different states. And right now we have a anti-profiling survey. Y'all might have seen it on the Facebook. If y'all could, I appreciate if y'all go and fill it out. It actually just questions. It asks you, have you ever been profiled? If you belong to an MC or RC or an M&M or whatever, just basic little questions, what organizations you belong to, C.O.C, MRF, ABATE, stuff like that, and then hit send. It doesn't keep track of who you are or your phone IP number or anything like that, but it helps us when we go to some of these states, or when we work with the MRF, when we go to to Washington, D.C., we have a record of how many people have been profiling and stuff like that, so it helps out in the long run. So if y'all could get a hold of that go to Facebook and you'll find it on there. It's NCOC profiling survey. If y'all could do that, that would help us out a lot. Also, INCOM, I'm on the INCOM board. I sit on the board of directors for Region 5 for the INCOM board. For a while back, I don't know if a lot of y'all know it, but the MRF and the INCOM wasn't getting along. We were bumping heads. Well, the last meeting in Phoenix, Arizona, we had a conference, and we sat down with the MRF and we hashed things out, and we all agreed to work together. We're all working for the same outcome, so we agreed to stop bumping heads with each other. Also with ABATE, we need to start doing the same thing with ABATE in the state of Louisiana. ABATE helps out a lot. ABATE have the knowledge to write all these bills and go to Baton Rouge and do all the legal and footwork, but they need numbers to back them up. That's why I pass out these call to actions and stuff like that. A lot of them comes from the MRF, and the other half of them comes from the ABATE of Louisiana. And they fight for everybody in this room. We're all the same. We need to stop fighting each other and put the differences aside, because we all fighting for the same reason. So we need to stop bumping heads and trying to top one another. We need to get on the same page and come together. There's a few things I just wanted to let y'all know about. I didn't know if y'all knew about the MRF and the INCOM. When I first started, when I took John Frank's place, back then, we didn't talk to the MRF. And it was like a 20-something-year-old fight that was going on, and most of those guys passed away or no longer MRF. And so we had a big sit-down in Phoenix, Arizona at Father's Day of this year, and we hashed out a lot of things, and so we're working together, and hopefully all of us working together, the MRF, C.O.C, and along with ABATE, we can put us back on the map and get some changes done. Anybody has any questions about anything about this, what I'm talking about now? Anybody? No? Nobody?
One thing, the profiling thing, if you've got a police officer in your town, we ran into that over in Leesville. We have one police officer that, still, anybody with a patch, he needed to stop and ask them 90,000 questions. And it came to a head that my brothers and friends wouldn't even come to my annual ride. And then one day, this gentleman pulled over 20 bikes going to a funeral for a soldier. And he held them on the road. And he kept, what are y'all doing? Where are you going? What's going on? And finally one guy goes, we're going to go escort a soldier from the funeral home to the cemetery. What's the problem? Well, I just want to know where you go. Okay, and then finally one of them goes, am I under arrest? Is there a reason to hold us here? And he just started reading his card, and the guy goes, no. He said, well, we're leaving. And everybody left. But you get somebody that gets a ego or gets a little heavy, if they watch what you say and record these folks. Everybody got a phone. Just record what they're saying. Ask the questions that you can ask, and then if it seems like it's gonna go past that, let us know.
It got so bad, they ended up making the police department blur the cameras.
Yeah.
Wonder how that happened. And then the boy finally got fired. Thank God.
You came here.
Except he came to Alexandria, man.
Well, they still got one where they had gun use.
Stopped a good friend of mine,
Find it up.
100 yards from my house at 11 o'clock at night, and he's a bandit. He didn't even have a pocket knife, and this guy just drilling him. He's doing the ride around. So that was taken care of. That was sent downtown. We hadn't heard anything over that, and that's been a while. But everybody in here is a thief, an outlaw, doper, and all that. That's what happens when you ride a damn motorcycle. And that's how they look at us.
The CMA used to run insurance for everybody hauling drugs through Gina. It didn't make no difference what side of facts you
But
got on.
anyway,
don't-
you know how we are looked at, and we probably spent more money on kids going to hospitals and to get buried and brothers get buried and it's just a fight. But I'm here for the long run, and everybody at this board on this table right here is for the long run. We're here for y'all, for us too.
Pick up the phone.
Louisiana is a stop and ID. In Louisiana, they ask you for your ID, you have to produce your ID. I don't like it, but it's the law in Louisiana. Also, never do the sobriety test. Never do the sobriety, that's an agility test, bro. In Louisiana, it's not mandatory that you do the sobriety test. It is the breathalyzer test, you have to do the breathalyzer test, but never do the agility test. Anything you do, if you ask them a question there in the middle of it, you stumble, or you wobble, that's points against you. After so many points, he's locking you up. He's bringing you downtown. So never do the agility test. You don't have to. A couple of things I kind of wrote down here, a couple of questions and answers that y'all might be kind of interested in. Let's see. This is when a cop stops you. He asks you, do you know why I stopped you? The answer is no, officer, I do not. And remember, anything you say can and will be used against you. Like he's going to ask you, do you know, do you know why, hold on, do you know how fast you were going? You can tell him, are you pulling me over for speeding and you don't know how fast I was going? What is the reason for the stop? You need to establish a reason for the stop. That question and answering right there is going to make them tell you, or hopefully they're going to tell you for speeding. That way, when they go to search your bike or your car or something else, that's a whole new ball game right there. And when they ask you where you going, never tell them. You don't have to tell them where you're going. That's none of his business. You tell them, officer, I do not wish to discuss my day with y'all. Where you coming from? 'Cause that's some trick questions. Because you may be coming from somewhere where they just had a fight, a bunch of bikers or whatever. That's gonna put you at the scene. Or you may be going somewhere where there's a big shit going on, like Waco or whatever.
Waco.
That's gonna put you going to the scene. They're gonna arrest you. So you kind of watch what you say. And also when you want to plead the Fifth Amendment, your right to remain silent, you have to say it. Because if you just shut up and don't say anything, then you're obstructing them. You have to exercise your right. You have to vocalize and tell them you wish to exercise your Fifth Amendment right. And also, when they ask you, you mind if I search your bike, your vehicle, or whatever, you tell them, I do not consent to any search or seizure, or any search. Because that's another trick question they're going to tell you. You mind if I do this? So, no, I don't mind, or yes, I do mind. That could be taken as yes, he gave me permission. So be sure you state it, I do not consent to a search. Let's see. The main thing, just watch where you're going. And what I tell my guys is shut the F up and we all gonna ride away. Because you don't have to tell them anything. Just give them your license. If they keep putting it on, some of the key words to say, am I being detained? If he says yes, then you invoke your right to remain silent. because he's doing an investigation on you right now. And then you ask him, am I free to go? If he says yes, get the H out of there. I mean, don't turn around and mouth off something, because then he's gonna start the whole routine all over again and hit me up for another 30 minutes to an hour on the side of the road. Shut your mouth up, get on your bike and go, or get in your cage and go.
When they pull you over, your charming personality is not gonna talk them out of that ticket, you understand? And I have burnt their butts a many times. When they pull me over, I hand them that registration, the sticker, and the insurance, and when I hand it to them, I say, everything is up to order, same address, everything, and I never answer another thing, period, because I don't have to. I don't say nothing. And if the buddy behind me says, oh, that's old Bob over there, you're screwed. You're gonna be there for at least an hour, because you've started this conversation with them, and then they can rightfully hold you on that side of the road, you know, for an hour, hour and a half, whatever they deem is, you know. But they stopped you to give you a ticket, so just go ahead, man up, take your ticket, maybe you know the DA or whatever, but you don't have to tell them anything, period. Just give them the correct paperwork, jam up. You don't have to tell them where you're going, where you come from, or anything. As long as you tell them everything's in order, period. Boom.
I got stopped a half mile from my house, and the cop said, you're speeding on me. Give me my ticket. Thank you. Well, where are you going? Are you gonna give me a citation? Give me a citation. Here's all my information, write it up and give it back to me. Kind of check your bike. No. Are you looking for something specific? Because you stopped me for speeding. I'm not giving you permission to check anything. And he goes, you're gonna take a ticket? Give me a ticket. Thank you very much. Have a good day, officer. Bye.
And don't cuss him, because he's gonna write on the back of that ticket, he called me an MF.
Yeah, they do.
And that DA is not gonna be able to help you. Nobody's gonna be able to help you, so just don't say nothing.
Be polite, respectful, and you'll get the
Hand them
same
your
back.
paperwork, tell them it's all up to date, in order, boom.
Film them,
Oh,
stop.
yeah, if you got a
Always
buddy,
film
just
'em.
step up, film that.
Hey, film that. Anybody have
He
any
was
questions
being
before we
filmed.
move on? Mr. Donnie Brown, MRF report?
All right. Yeah, so every year at the Meeting of the Minds, it's an annual conference that the Motorcycle Riders Foundation puts on, and it moves from different, just kind of like income, it moves to different regions. This year it's in Pennsylvania. But at that conference every year, all the leaders from different motorcycle rights organizations from the states, they get together on a big committee, and what they do is they put together priorities for nationally what we're gonna, you know, all the things that we're gonna fight on motorcycle rights, you know, lay out those priorities as far as what's our high priority, what's a medium priority, and what's something that, you know, they're gonna monitor. And so this year I'll go over just a few of the high priority objectives. And so one of the things is crash avoidance. Continue to promote the theme of crash avoidance versus safer crashing, urging the National Highway Transportation and Department of Transportation to focus on crash prevention and support rider education, providing funding and other resources. So at the federal level, you know, such states can apply for these grants, and they get this monies to promote motorcycle safety and awareness and promote look wise, save a life, and all that stuff. So those monies come from the federal government, and they come down to the state. But the MRF works on that every year with their lobbyists to make sure, you know, that you know, we get a piece of the pie. Data recording, they're going to pursue legislation language that any collected or available vehicle data is the property of the consumer, in which the consumer has the choice of whether to opt in to having their personal data communicated to interested parties. And this is something they've been working on for a number of years, making sure that you know, we have privacy with that data. Definition of motorcycle, that's another one, you know, that they've been monitoring, particularly since the three-wheel, all the three-wheel categories came in there, making sure that the crash statistics are counted properly at the national and state level. you know, a lot of the biggest fights they got with the EPA nowadays, but, you know, they're gonna continue to engage the EPA and Congress on any activity related to motorcycle emissions regulations, including the RPM Act, HR, House Resolution 3281, and Senate Resolution 2736. These are bills, they've had these bills every year, we keep pushing it. And we got NASCAR and some other groups helping us on this, but, I mean, we get a lot of co-sponsors. But, you know, we hadn't been able to pass it. But, I mean, they've been able to keep the EPA at bay to some degree. But, I mean, the environmental groups, you know, just look at another high priority right here. This is something I never would have thought would have been a high priority. I've said this before. Internal combustion engines, you know, it's a high priority now. Work to ensure the survival of internal combustion engines, including elimination of the California Air Quality Exemption waivers, which allows California to enact different standards and threatens combustion of engine production. They've already outlawed the sale of motorcycles starting a certain year in California already. Motorcycle profiling, sustained lobbying efforts for the passage of resolutions or legislation that promotes awareness and prohibition of motorcyclist profiling. So that's, you know, at the state level in Louisiana, it's been passed here. We passed a state profiling resolution in this state a few years ago, and some other states individually have too. And the MRF has been working at the federal level to try to assist all these states to get every state, get motorcycle profiling resolution passed in every state. So it's kind of something ongoing, working on it. We're chipping away at it, or they're chipping away at it up there. Renewable fuels is another one, with E15, just really, trying to say, hey, we've got to have fuel to run our vintage motorcycles in the future. We need to have the right to be able to repair them too, which gets down to the stamps that some of these states want to put on exhaust systems. Right to repair, protect and advocate for right to repair provisions that allow consumers the ability to repair and modify their own products. Let's see. Medium priority objectives. Let's see. Lane filtering, lane splitting, monitor and support federal efforts to study and review the benefits and concerns of lane splitting and lane filtering. Surface transportation reauthorization bill, the highway bill. It's usually where we get the most success out of anything for the year. It's a highway bill because you can't hardly, nobody passes a single bill on any issue any days. It's a package that comes. That's the way Congress works, like it or not. But when the highway bill comes out, that's usually where lobbyists will go in there and get the funding, for whatever we need funding for attached to that bill. Preserve the NHTSA lobbying ban and expand to other federal agencies. So there's a ban that they got done, and it's been done years ago, National Highway Transportation Program, a ban on them lobbying the state level. A lot of times what they do, we found out this for motorcycle-only checkpoints. Back when they were doing motorcycle-only checkpoints, it was federal money coming down to the state, and that was what we had to do. We had to go in there and work on shutting off the funds to do that, to get it stopped. And in Louisiana, we've had a law the past years that wouldn't have motorcycle-only checkpoints in Louisiana anyway. Not all states have that. We're one of the few in that category that I know of. Oppose any motorcycle-related federal blackmail or federal sanctions. Monitor for any action that would negatively impact motorcycling, and motorcyclists. Taxes encourage the fair treatment of motorcyclists in any change to federal taxes related to transportation. Vehicle miles traveled and other tax imposed must account for the different impact motorcycles have on infrastructure. And, this big pet peeve of mine, last highway bill, they put in there a pilot system where, because today, right now, you go buy a gallon of gas, it's about roughly 30-something cents. And a percentage of that goes to the state, a percentage of that goes to the federal. And that's money goes to the roads. But it's not enough money to keep up with the roads today. So what they wanna do is they wanna go to a mile, tax per mile. And another reason they're pushing this, obviously, is, they're trying to get us to transition away from gasoline. They're envisioning a future where there is no gasoline vehicles, so that tax will be obsolete. They'd have to find another way to tax the consumer. Well, but if you look at what they put in the pilot program on the miles, they do tracks, but it's going to be more. It's a pretty good tax, and it'd be very unfair to motorcyclists, versus a log truck. As far as the impact on the road, very different. Distracted driving. Let's see. Exhaust systems. I think I talked about that already. Continue to build international partnerships. They work with most motorcycle ride groups in European Union, United Nations, and Canada. Continue to monitor any national studies concerning motorcycles, or federal crash causation study, or the Motorcycle Safety Foundation naturalistic study. Tariffs and tolling, monitor tolling practices, make sure they're fair for motorcyclists. And that's about it. That's pretty good bit of stuff that they work on for us every year, and they're supported and assisted by the MROs and all the states. So if you're not a member of the MRF, Motorcycle Riders Foundation, I encourage you to join. And you can sign up for their alerts on the website, and anytime there's a call to action, one of these things they're working on, more people call in, more likely, we move the needle some. And we usually do move the needle. It's just not as much as we'd like sometimes. But that's about all I had, Mark.
How many get the call to actions from the MRF? And if you haven't, and you sign up, what they'll do, they'll send you a notice. If there's a bill on the house that they're interested in for getting your support. And you go in and you fill out who your zip code, and they'll know who it's going to. They'll tell you who your congressman and whatever is. And then that you put your name, your address, all that, and it's already pre-printed form on the phone or on the computer. And then it goes down and says, do you give permission to do this? And you hit it, and they'll send a letter that's already drafted. Only thing you're doing is adding your name to continuing letters going into your state representative. And the more he gets at his office, when his little clerk goes, look, boss, this is what we got. And what you want to do is, the more people fill those out and send them in, it kind of kicks the brain in and says, oh, I got people in Louisiana or in my district that's actually looking at this. And it comes from you because it's got your address and stuff on it. So think about doing that, okay? Think about doing that. I think
Don't cost nothing.
Don't cost nothing. That costs a darn penny.
Back in the old days, back in the old days, we used to have to write letters and pick up the phone and call. Now that the MRF have that QT program, that's what we pay, it's like $500 a year to use it. We go on half with ABATE Louisiana. They pay $250 and we pay $250 in order to use that program. And it's really simple, like Sarge was saying. You just click on the link, fill it out, click send, and a lot of times you get a confirmation email back saying thank you for your whatever, and it goes straight to that congressman or senator and all that. Well, real easy, man. If we can start doing that, that'd be great. Like Diane Brown was talking a while ago about the national profiling. That's what that national survey with the C.O.C, or the National Council of Clubs. If y'all don't go to Facebook, and y'all have a Facebook page, like I say, it's on there, but if y'all don't, I'm going to get Lionel to email everybody the link. And if y'all could, send it to all you guys, send it to your brother, your sister, your mama, your next door neighbor, doesn't matter who, and have them fill it out. One other thing, Donnie was telling about the MRF, they, to join the MRF, because they need money, they send people to Washington DC on our behalf. Well, ABA, Louisiana is fixing to have the Mid-South Mile in the state in Louisiana, 2025 in Shreveport. So if y'all, y'all may want to join ABA, kind of give them some little money right now. I think it's $25 a year, so they can kind of afford this, because it's going to cost a lot of money to put that on. They got to block roams and get vendors, and I mean, all kind of stuff they're working on. So anything we can do to help them out, or y'all can help them out, will be appreciated from ABA, I'm sure. Anybody else on the board here, anything to say? Not, I'll turn it over. Anybody else have anything they want to say before we call new clubs up? I think we have a few new clubs. Anybody new club want to come up? Come on up. That Bayou Crew guy, that had Bayou Crew there here? They left? Okay.
I don't know if everybody sees that.
I'm Leon, I'm from St. Anne's Parish. This is co-founder Aaron. We're with Kindred Vets. We're a veterans only riding group. Not an MC, nothing like this, a riding group. Mostly what we do is PTSD outreach. A lot of us spend a lot of time on the phone with veterans from all over the place. They call. We have an outreach program. That's our biggest thing. And then we do a lot of help and assistance with other charity groups out there, other clubs or groups, whatever, churches, and go help them with veteran-related events. So, and one of our goals here with the C.O.C. is to link up with other veteran groups and start helping them, and maybe getting help from them with veteran-related stuff, such as funerals or a veteran need. And some of the things that we do so far, like I said, besides the PTSD, is disabled veterans that can't cut their grass, we go pet for them. Help them build a ramp, rides if they need one to VA or something like that. Help them get their VA assistance. So we do a whole lot of that kind of stuff for free, 100% nonprofit. And everything that we do, 100% comes out of our own pocket. We have no income coming in. So it's just 100% veterans, for veterans only. And that's just what we do. And we're just hoping to kind of build some relationship with a lot of you guys, if warranted.
Anybody got any problems with this? Be seen and look, be seen and not look for, bro.
I don't have a problem. I think it's pretty damn awesome. Do you have a point of contact for us riders? We know a lot of veterans that have issues, and it would be great to point them in your direction so you can assist them.
Yes, sir. We're on Facebook, Kindred Vets. We also have a website, the Kindred Vets website. I gave him a card, and I will leave some cards for those who might want one. If anybody can contact us. It's a 100% 24/7 run. And we always contact whoever contacts us, and whatever we can do to help, we do. We do what we can, when we can, and if we can, because we're limited. But we do our very best.
Everybody's got a problem? See you.
I'd like to see when you get one of your cards you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else in here with a club they want to start? You guys got?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
They had another club came to.
I'll take one.
Thank you, bro.
We got one more every time I come up. Or if you contact us,
We're Hooligan Crew out of Baton Rouge. I'm just here to network and be a part of the community. And me personally, I'm the sales manager for Harley Davidson in Baton Rouge. So if there's any way I can impact any of you guys and help you guys on that level, that's a big plus for us. We've got several other members, not here today, but we ride. We're black and gold, but we ride with red and gold, and we're friends with everybody, and we're just here to network and try to leave a good footprint in the community and support. If you guys need anything from us, I'll just get my contact before I leave, and we can come to your events and support you guys, and vice versa. That's what we're here for. So Our back patch.
Any questions, Bob? I've already talked to the, other clubs in their area, and they said they're a bunch of good guys, no problem, so. See it, then, no objections. We had another club came here today out of the blue, they didn't call me or anything. They're gonna be a little riding club, they out of Copper Shoe around Lake Charles. I told them to come next month, cause they had, they call themselves the Bayou Crew. We already have a Bayou Crew in Houma, and plus they picked some colors that were almost exactly like my colors on my patch, so they're gonna change that and contact some other clubs down there in Lake Charles. And, then they're gonna come back next meeting and talk to us, and, we'll kinda take it from there and work with those guys. They're gonna be a little RC club around that, so, they seem to be a bunch of good guys, so we're gonna see next meeting. You changed your, let me see.
You actually had two of them come up here today.
Dave.
You sent it through the back.
Hey, yeah. You had redesigned yours or something, huh?
You wanted, we wanted to change the
The front
color.
part, okay.
And then the back of it is still the same,
Yeah,
but we
yeah,
You
changed
did
it.
it perfect. I got you covered, buddy.
I just wanted to see it.
Great.
I just wanted to see it.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Thank y'all.
All right. And our reason we check it out is to make sure he doesn't duplicate somebody else's in here, so in case he does something stupid, they're gonna blame it on some other club. Okay, anybody else got anything they, wanna bring to the table? If not, we'll cut it short. Next meeting is when, Ed?
Well, we got two other things.
Let's find out.
We'll announce the gathering next weekend. Next weekend, Shreveport Clubhouse, Graygo's Clubhouse, gathering every year. Been going on for 29 years. Love to have you up there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a good time, never any problems. It's great. We'll make sure we put the address and a contact number on Facebook, on the website for you guys, and we'll show you a picture of the flyer and stuff. But it is a good time, good guys, you get to learn a lot, you get to have a lot of fun.
And one thing, if y'all are doing something like raising money or having a charity event or helping somebody out, or you pick a charity that you're gonna support, let everybody know. Bring in flyers when you come in here, or call, if Lionel was here, you can contact him on the web. And the main thing is, get out and be with each other, and, you know, we had a saying, be seen and not looked for. You know, it only takes one person to say, hi, how you doing? You know, and help out. You don't know how much money a place will raise, and you don't know, you know, we're gonna go ride this weekend, we'll go find some place to go ride. Say hi to everybody. You know, this is our community, so let's be the community together. How about that?
Two more announcements, please. The meeting's gonna be, next meeting's gonna be November the 12th, because the following weekend, the church has something going on, and the following weekend after that is Thanksgiving weekend. So we're gonna have it on the 12th of November, same place, 1 o'clock. One other thing too, one of our good brothers up here in Alexandria, Bandito Joy, Bandito Joe, I'm sorry. His wife's brother passed away unexpected, and we'd kind of like to pass a hat for him if you can, to kind of help him out with the funeral services and stuff. We appreciate anything you can, would be appreciated. Joe, pass your hat. Joe, pass your hat. Yes, sir.
October 20th and the 21st, the races, North Valley Raceway.
I can't hear you, what?
The motorcycle race in October, the
Yeah.
20th, the weekend of the 20th. The races.
Yeah, yeah.
Top fuel, I'll just let everybody know.
Okay.
It's gonna be that weekend.
And I'm gonna put out a flyer for it too, as soon as I get one.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Me?
October 7th, in Monroe at Warhawk Harley Davidson, there's a couple motorcycle ministries having an ice cream run, so it's Hope Pushers, Broken Chains, Bikers for Christ, Hellfighters, and Third Day Messenger. At 10 o'clock, we'll leave out from Warhawk and go up to Oak Ridge. They're pretty world famous up that area for ice cream. We'd love to invite anybody to come with us and just ride and, just fellowship and try to get to know each other.
I love me some ice cream, I can tell you that right now.
Good fun.
Send me a flyer. I'll put it out.
You got my number, send me one too.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for ice cream.
Anybody else got
Like
anything
the
going
cheese
on?
and the rat trap, man.
Any other benefits going on? No, Bill, in the back?
Yeah, October 7th, at King Harley, we'll be doing the annual lights cook-off in preparation for the Van Eagle Shots Christmas event, so anybody out want to do it, feel free to apply or be posted out soon.
Yeah, every year they do a Van Eagle Shock event. They raise money to buy gifts, bicycles and gifts and all that. It's hosted by the Iron Cross Riders out of New Iberia. And they put a big Christmas thing on. I mean, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. How many bikes I gave away last year?
Right at 130.
130? They just blowing up each year, so they're doing it's gonna be a cook-off, and it's gonna be October what?
October 7th is the cook-off. We haven't set the date, but set the cook-off week before Christmas.
Send me a flyer, and I'll put it out to our guys down south, and I'll put it on Facebook so everybody know about it. But they're making a lot of families down there happy, a lot of families that can't afford it. So, and 100 something bicycles, and plus all the toys. I went last year, I mean, they have a big old storage room back there where they put bikes. It was full of toys and gifts, and they had 30, 50 volunteers, gift wrapping and all kind of stuff. So it's a big production they've been putting on. So, anybody else has anything? Well, I guess that's it. What's it, the 12th of November? The 12th of November over here. And don't forget, I'm gonna be passing y'all out that C.O.C profiling code to fill out too. That help out a lot if you could. Thanks for coming, and I'm sorry if we drug it on too long. Be careful going home.